place that I could be myself. Everyone in school had different ideas of what they did on the weekends or during the week, partying and getting wasted. And I got to meet people of like-mindedness, of not drinking and doing drugs and smoking. And they're my age and older. And I was like, man, I'm not that out of step, I'm actually, there's the whole crew of people that are like me. And then I started to go to shows, and just that first show was the energy and just like the message and just like the DIY-ness of it. Is that a word? But and just like people were making their own merch and selling it, and just the energy and everything.
What year was it? Would you say was your born on date?
I want to say 94. I'd have to actually think about it right now. But I can tell you, Option. It was an Option show. Option, Catfish Bullhead, Plank, One-Eyed Baby, The Incompetents. These might be a little later, a little earlier too. But I definitely remember seeing those bands. Shallow, Extend, Solace. Trying to think of some of the Wilkes-Barre bands. Burial Ground was just starting. What was the other band before that? What was it? What Me Worry? No, that was a fanzine. I don't know. I forget.
It's all good.
I'm the most burnt straight edge kid you'll ever meet.
How about?
Laura Billard, or Laura Rebel Angel, as she's known now. She got me into a lot of trouble back then in high school. And she's like, yo, we should book a show. And I was like, hell yeah. And neither of us were old enough to get the fire hall, so my mom actually rented it for us for the first show. And my mom worked the door with combat boots on, I remember that. And it was a huge ass show with more bands than we could handle. I remember shut down Broadway and Candiria for the first out-of-state show, the first PA show. They were still like a crazy death metal band or something. Fury, Indecision, shut down Candiria. Every local band that was around. Crush was supposed to play. I forget what happened. I know Richie came out. And that show went until like 2 or 3 in the morning. It was a huge success. It was insane. And then that was Laura and I's first and only show actually together. And then I kept on booking shows there for the next couple of years. Basically, I finished high school. And then maybe 3 or 4 years later, I did another show there. I was living in the city full time by then, and then I came home for Christmas time.
What's the name of the actual place?
The actual name is Green Dreher Fire Hall, but we called it Newfoundland Fire Hall because that was the town I was in, and it was off of XNickX, off of I-84.
Do you ever go to the ones by Mac Ray's house, like the 15 keggers, or is that this?
No, but I did during my militant straight edge days. I remember calling the police from high school about a 15 kegger that was supposed to happen, and I called and I was like, hey, I just want to tell you guys, I called the cops, I was like, I just want to tell you guys that there's going to be like a 15 keg party with all these drugs and like hundreds of people, just so you know. They're like, why are you calling us to tell us this? I'm like, yeah, I'm worried about drunk driving and people underage drinking and everything. They're like, yeah, okay, we'll take care of it. And then Monday in school, I'm like, oh, whatever happened to that party? And they're like, oh, they just came for a noise ordinance or something. It was just too loud. And I was like, what? I was like, I know there was like, hundreds, like, a bunch of kegs there and kids underage drinking. Like, how was that busted up? It just drove me nuts because I remember going to school with kids and like, this one kid got in a car accident from drugs or drinking and he basically died and they brought him back, and when he brought him back, like, he had no sense of smell and was totally messed up, and he'd come to school smelling like cat piss. His clothes smelled like cat piss, and I'm like, yo, you stink. And he's like, oh, I don't smell. I was like, and then I started asking him, like, why are you still drinking, dude? Look what it's doing to you. You smell like cat piss. And he's like, oh, there's nothing else better to do around here. I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, yo, just drive 20, 30 minutes, drive into the city to go see shows. Like, there's so many to go skate. There's so many things going on. Like, there's like the DIY skate park down the street with like tons of dudes coming out, like skating, painting, so much stuff going on. Just go out there and do it. I know you probably interviewed him. Dan Ingolson brought the first hardcore show to CC's. CC's is like the CBGB's of Pennsylvania. It was a beautiful home away from home. It was amazing. I think the whole PA scene, especially Northeast PA, was amazing. I mean, you could go to Spanky's and go see like H2O and VOD, and then drive half hour and go see 7 Seconds to Lifetime the same night. The same shows were going on. Or I remember like the Misfits and like Maximum Penalty were playing. I think Blood for Blood at like one show, and then 10 minutes down the street was Blood for Blood and like some other band. That was actually the night that Rabies passed away. And I remember Maximum Penalty saying at the Misfits show, like, oh, we want to send a song out to Rabies. I got all choked up. I was like, holy crap. And then we actually went out down to the Blood for Blood show to tell those guys, and we were like, what the hell? But, I mean, Northeast PA, man, I can't even put words to it. There's so many shows, so many venues, so many shows going on, like DIY, like Fire Hall, VFW shows, like, even though there was like the Wilkes-Barre scene with all those like emo melodic kids, and then like the Harper like straight edge, Nanticoke straight edge, and then there was the CC's kids, like I guess the tough guys, and then there's the Scranton kids. If you brought that together, that scene, the scene was huge. It was insane. And I don't even know what my point is to that. It's just that it was amazing to grow up in, to what do you call it? I guess to just learning and to meet so many people, and like this is my family. Like my best friends, in my life, the rest of my life now, are from the PA hardcore scene, and like I would die for them. I mean, what other kind of like thing are you gonna get into, or scene you're gonna get into, where you can call someone your brother and you love them more than your own family? Not the rape scene. Not the rape scene. I mean, the shows out on that tractor trailer and the freaking volleyball court, whatever, the beach. I don't know. I love the 108 CC's riot. That was pretty awesome. I think the stupidity of Vince I love you, Vince, but I don't know why you booked a hip hop show after a Business Warzone show. The fact that I saw Business to Warzone together, awesome. The first time AF played there, Biohazard, or Sick of It All, like, I mean, this is a small venue. It's like playing in the back of a van, basically. I mean, VOD and Earth Crisis in the heydays, like they were bigger at CC's in Northeast PA than back in Long Island, or maybe not Long Island, but like New York. Yeah, I think all the CC shows just I would go to I would live down the street for a minute, probably like maybe like 6 months, and I would go to every show. I don't care if it's ska, punk, like I go to just I don't know, it's just my home away from home. Go over there and paint, do whatever. It was awesome.